And what is going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. It's your boy Phil. I actually received an email from one of my guests, and I thought it was a really good question, and I want to share it with you guys here on the channel. So he writes, "Hey Philip, this is David, and I've been to your place a couple times and always had a great experience. Kudos to you and the team for that." You know what, David? Thank you so much for that. Honestly, that makes me know that me and the team are performing up to our standards and we're staying true to our core values, our mission, and our vision. So, continue on from that. He writes, "I'm 27 and was a manager at a large retail company before the pandemic hit. I'm laid off now and have a lot of time on my hands to focus on what I really want to do." First off, David, kudos to you for that. Honestly, I feel like during the pandemic, it can go either way. People can be stuck in negativity and just be pointing fingers and be almost immobilized and frozen to think about their next steps. So, and then there's the other side of people where maybe they had similar stories to you where they got laid off, but then they're looking at it as an opportunity to basically what you just said, to focus on what you really want to do. So I want to say kudos for you for doing that. I think you're on the right track. All right, continuing on. I have a restaurant idea that I have been saving up money for and would like to hear your experience on how you opened up Swirls. Any tips would be great. Okay, so when I opened up Swirls, honestly, there wasn't a lot of planning involved. Well, it was like a very minimal amount of planning, but one of the things that I did back then, I wasn't by myself. I was with my family members. And long story short, it didn't work out. One of my mentors told me, you want to love your family members, but choose your business partners. And I think that's very, very true. For me, it was just too much infighting. I couldn't handle it. I loved my family members more than I loved the business venture that we were building. And so I had to make that choice and exit out of the company. So for me, from that point on, I just started. Really, and there's no like complex story or whatever. Just get started, which leads into the tips I'm about to give you. So there are 5 tips that I would give you if you are thinking about a restaurant idea that you want to open. So number 1 that I just said was just get started. Absolutely, just get started. Along the way, you'll figure it out, right? Number 2, don't discount coaching, mentorship, or business coaching. I feel that if you are going into the restaurant idea like David, you right now, you've worked in retail, you've been in management, that's great. But the thing is, the restaurant industry is different from retail. And so if you don't have the experience, go find someone that does, because it pays to know, basically. There was a quote that I read and I thought it spoke very volume. And it goes like this: what happens when a person with money meets a person with experience? The person with experience walks away with the money, and the person with the money walks away with experience. And to me, my interpretation of that quote was, it pays to know. If you don't know what you're doing, it can be very costly. So that's why I highly, highly recommend you get a coach, mentorship, go out there and find somebody that has the experience that you want. And you can piggyback off of their failures and their experiences so that you can get your brand up and running faster. And I guess the question is, can you execute your restaurant concept or idea without a coach and do just as well? Absolutely, you can. It would just take a longer time. I think that for me, what really took me off in my journey and at Swirls was during that point in time where things were super, super tough and I'm just banging my head against the wall, just trying to figure it out by myself. And I made that conscious decision to find a business coach, mentor that has the experience that I want. And so from that point on, boom, it just took off, and I am way more knowledgeable and knowing everything that I would have known. Excuse me. What I mean to say is, had I not made that decision to get a coach, sure, maybe maybe 2-3 more years down the line, I would have gotten it. But me taking that decision right now to get a coach, that just writes off so much time off of your hands. All right, so get a coach. So number, what was that, 3? So that was coaching, starting, coaching. Number 3, obviously, know your numbers. And this goes into coaching too. If you have a great coach, he's going to tell you, you got to know your numbers. He or she can show you what numbers you need to look for, but your numbers need to be on point. Because if it's not generating profit, if it's not generating cash flow, then, and you're not able to track it, then you don't have a business. You just have a very expensive hobby, right? Number 4, know your why. I think in any type of business, any type of entrepreneurship, you need to understand, or you need to know your why, and it needs to be strong enough for you to get up every day, to want to be excited, to go into your business and be a leader. So your why, there's a great book by Simon Sinek, Start With Why. And he goes and says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And the better you are to communicate that to your guests, to your team, it does something to the company where that company is in line with the culture and in line with the vision that you're willing to bet, not willing, but that you are building. And so have a very strong why. I think that there's a couple times that people, some of my classmates in the past, they come over and they ask me, how did I start up Swirls? And I always ask those questions, or they want to start up a restaurant company, a restaurant brand themselves. And they asked, how did they start? I always answer them, why do you want to do it? Because if your why is just to make money, I'm going to tell you straight up, David, the restaurant industry on average only makes 5 to 6%. So that means for every $1 you make, you're only keeping a nickel to 6 pennies to your name. So if you're trying to get into the industry just to make money, just making money and nothing else, I would highly suggest you don't look into the hospitality industry. That being said, as the margins are so thin and the industry is so cutthroat, hospitality industry is just as rewarding. And so one of the things, an example I can give you for your why would be, for me personally, my why I love getting up every day to go to Swirls and to perform over there and to lead is because I absolutely love it when my guests, they watch us make the rolled ice cream. They're super amazed by it. They're in awe, and they never seen anything like that. Once they get their ice cream, they sit down, they have a spoonful of it, they put it in their mouth, and it's just pure joy and bliss on their faces, and they're absolutely ecstatic about the whole experience. That gives me a lot of happiness, really, and it recharges my batteries. So I would say things like that. So know your why for your restaurant. It can't be just money. It needs to be something bigger than that. It needs to be, you need to ask yourself, why does your restaurant brand exist? Okay, so that's number 5. What else? 4? That was like coaching, numbers, know your why. Number 4, yes, know your personal sacrifices. So personal sacrifices is something that I think a lot of people, when they think about going into food and beverage, I don't think they really think about that. Reason being is because when you're working in a food restaurant, you have very long hours. Normally, when people in other industries, once they come to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's time to relax, be with family. For us, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is go time. That's our money-making days. So that means on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we need to show up. We need to be on point, and we need to be ready to perform because your guests are coming in there paying their hard-earned money for you to do that. So you cannot afford to have a bad day. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you are going to be busy, at least for at least minimum the first year, so that you get your systems running. But know that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're going to be working a lot to build up those systems, build that team, build up that culture. You're going to be missing, You're going to be missing like family outings, maybe like going and hanging out with friends. I don't know if you have a partner, David, if you're married, but that's going to cut into your personal relationships. So know that what you're going to be doing with this restaurant idea of yours, it has a high chance of cutting into your personal life and what you like to do and your hobbies and whatnot. And so that is, I guess that was 5. Yeah, that was 5. I can remember at the top of my head. So number 1, get started. Number 2, get coaching. Number 3, know your numbers. Number 4, have a very strong why your company exists. And then number 5 is know the personal sacrifices. Okay, so those are my 5 tips on your restaurant idea, and whether that's going to be my 5 tips on my take on the restaurant idea. Sorry, just like running around right now. But yes, those are my 5 tips. Hopefully, David, this was beneficial and beneficial to anybody that was, thinking about opening up a restaurant concept. If you guys like this type of video where we do a Q&A, shoot me an email. I'm going to put the email in the the description down below. If you guys want to send me a question, and I'll cover it over here on the channel. But until then, I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace.